Right, this section is for you guys to learn how to solve for missing angles in right triangles. So last time we were solving for missing sides, we were using sine, cosine, and tangent. Now we're solving for angles, so we're using the inverse of sine, inverse of cosine, and inverse of tangent. So these are known as the inverse trig functions. We use them whenever we need to solve for angles. So kind of the same way that we were working on our last examples, we're still using SOHCAHTOA, and we are going to label the sides of the triangle as opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse, depending on what they're giving me. So here they're asking me to find measurement of angle A. So that's going to be my x variable. So they're asking me to find angle A. So I'm going to label this angle with x degrees. That's what I'm trying to find. So now I'm going to label my sides, the 2 and the 3 that are given to me. And so since I'm working with angle A, opposite from angle A, I have the 3. So that's O. That's my opposite. The 2 is right next to the angle. It is not the hypotenuse, so it has to be the adjacent side. So this is my A. So O and A, I determine which trig function I'm using. So I'm using tangent because it has O and A. So I'm going to highlight that part so that I know that I'm working with tangent. So I'm going to write my formula. I'm going to have tangent of angle A equals opposite over adjacent. So same as before, I'm going to replace those letters with numbers. So tangent of x, since that's the angle that I'm looking for, equals the O is the 3 over adjacent, which is 2. And so now I need to get tangent, or x by itself. So to figure that out, I'm just going to have to take the inverse of tangent and get x. So to get x by itself, all I do is take the inverse. So I'm going to do x equals the inverse of tangent for 3 over 2. So tangent, inverse of tangent because I'm working with tangent, 3 over 2 because that's my ratio that I got. So now all I have to do is type this into the calculator. So we still go to the same trig button, we click that button, but now we're working with inverse. So now you're going to make sure you click the tangent that has the little negative exponent. So I'm going to click on that one. I'm going to put 3/2 inside. So 3 over 2, and that gives me 56.3099. I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth, so that would be 56.31. So my x value here, x equals 56.31 degrees, because now I'm solving for angles, so I gotta have my degree symbol. Okay, sample 2. They're asking me to find the measurement of angle F. So here's angle F. I'm going to label that with x. And based on this angle, I'm going to label the 8 and the 20. So opposite from the x, I have that 8. So that has to be my O, opposite side. And then right next to the x, I have that 20. But it's the longest side, is opposite from the 90. That means it's a hypotenuse. So this is my h. So now I have O and h. So I'm using sine, O and h. So I'm going to highlight this part using my sine function. So now I have sine of angle F equals opposite over hypotenuse. That's my formula. I'm just going to plug in numbers for letters now. So F is what I'm looking for, so that's x. The O, it's the 8. So O goes on top. The h is the 20, so 20 goes in the bottom. And again, just to get x by itself, I'm going to take the inverse of sine. So x equals inverse of sine for my ratio 8/20. I'm going to type that into the calculator. So here's the inverse of sine. 8/20. That's 23.5782. I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth, so that's 23.58 for my x value. So here my answer is 23.58 degrees. That's the measurement of angle F. Right, one more example. So now they're asking me for angle R. This is angle R. I'm going to put that X right there. And so the 19, it's the longest side. It's opposite from the right angle. That has to be the hypotenuse. So this is H. And the 3 is right next to angle R. So that has to be adjacent. So this is A. I'm going to label that with A. So I have A and H. So that is cosine, A and H. So I am using cosine. So my formula for cosine is cosine of angle R equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So R is the x value that I'm looking for. Adjacent, it's the 3. Hypotenuse is the 19. And so again, very easy. I'm just going to take the inverse of cosine, or the ratio of 3/19. I'm going to do it with the calculator one more time. So the inverse of cosine for the ratio 3/19. That's 80.92, because I'm rounding. 80.92. So x about 8.92 degrees. And that's it. So solving for our angles is very easy.